Well, a major deadline is approaching on Capitol Hill, and it could affect everything from where you go to the park to whether you get your Social Security checks or your veterans benefits. On March 4th, just 10 days from now, all funding for the federal government expires. And there are now new reports that the Social Security Administration and other federal agencies are actually meeting with unions and planning for the worst, a full government shutdown. Meantime, Republicans continue to say the only ones talking about a shutdown are the Democrats. Joining me now, Leslie Marshall, a syndicated radio talk show host, and Lars Larson, also a syndicated radio host. Leslie's also a Fox News contributor. Okay, so this is so interesting to me, Leslie, because you've got Harry Reid. He just came out this morning and said, look, let's pass at least a continuing resolution that will take us through, March 4th through a short time thereafter so we can continue to negotiate. And 1, 2, 3, 4 times in his press release, he used the word shutdown. A shutdown could do this. A shutdown would be irresponsible. A shutdown is just a threat and an ultimatum. And repeatedly, you have the Republicans coming out and saying, we know that. You Democrats are the only ones talking about a shutdown. We've never threatened a shutdown. So where does the truth lie?
Well, I think the truth lies in reality and also learning from history and not wanting to repeat the mistakes from history. For both government shutdowns in the 90s, there was no preparation. I think preparation is key. It's preventative, just in case, worst case scenario. I think, just to say, not use the words government shutdown by the Republicans, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. There's an elephant in the room, and sorry, I got to use an elephant there, Lars. There's an elephant in the room, but nobody wants to talk about it but the Democrats. And the reality is there could be a government shutdown if there isn't a compromise reached, or if they don't take the olive branch Democrats have extended with this stopgap spending that will take them through the end of March, technically, that House Minority Leader Pelosi has proposed.
How is it not true, Lars? How is it not true that we may be facing a shutdown when the Republicans are saying, because in the House they passed a bill that has $61 billion in cuts, and they said, all right, fine, you don't want to give us that, you want a little measure, continuing resolution to get us through a month or so, fine, but even that has to have some cuts. And they say, and if it doesn't, then there's no deal. How is that not threatening a shutdown?
It's not, because the other side can do what bipartisan Barry and his band of Democrats have always promised to do, and that is reach across the aisle and work with the other side, which clearly the president and the Democrats are incapable of doing. Look, this government needs to trim its spending. We're trillions of dollars in debt. We're over $1 trillion in deficit this year. It's sensible to cut. And the Democrats say, let's take some more time. Let's kick the can down the road another month or two. Well, hey, that's what they've been doing for a decade. The fact is they got to get with the program and make sure that they cut this budget. And if the threat is out there, all the more reason for people to get to the work of doing the cuts that have to be done right now and not push it further down the road. They could be bipartisan. They could say, let's make the cuts.
And I think he's referring to President Barack Obama with bipartisan Barry. Leslie, but the president has said that he wants something in place. He doesn't want a government shutdown. The Republicans say they don't want one. And last time we had that under President Bill Clinton, it was bad. It was unpopular. Parks were closing. Veterans benefits weren't getting paid. There's a reason the Social Security Administration is meeting to plan for this, because last time 61,000 workers had to stay home, and basically all heck broke loose. So they don't want that. No, neither side wants that this time around, Leslie, and yet I see that Harry Reid's proposal this morning doesn't propose additional cuts, which is what the Republicans said must be in there.
But we have to look, Megan, whether left or right, and a lot of people on the left and right are coming to the I party, the independents, okay? You have the Tea Party on the right who want the government shut down because they think the federal government's the enemy. Then you also have people who are independents and both right and left who want cuts but don't like a lot of these cuts, especially when it comes to the entitlement program. The reality is, since January 1st, 10,000 people a day become seniors, and that will continue for 19 years. How can you be cutting in such amounts programs where so many people are entering that? That is going to be the majority of our population.
And that's the other thing, Lars. Is this release? Is the fact that they're making public that the Social Security Administration is meeting, with unions to plan for a shutdown? Is that real, or is that an attempt to scare seniors into backing a continuing resolution?
It's the same. And Megan, it's the same thing the Democrats love to lay on the Republicans and conservatives. You're fear-mongering. You're trying to, we're going to throw grandma in the snowbank. That's crazy.
Anna.
What they want, they don't necessarily want a shutdown, but they want the specter of a shutdown so they can say, see what the big bad Republicans are trying to do to you? The Republicans are trying to do the same thing that Governor Walker's doing. Sensibly cut the budget, get government under control. It has to be done, and putting it off more time is not going to help anybody.
No, I mean, it is scary to a lot of seniors. I can tell you right now, if Nana doesn't get her Social Security check and she can't pay her rent check to Sister Mary Louise, there's going to be a problem.
So who's the fearmonger now? Who's the fearmonger now?
Sister, I would think Sister Mary Louise if
Bipartisan
Nana doesn't pay her.
Then she'll have to deal with me. All right, panel, thank you.